My name is Germana Ravanelli. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a mind-body healer, a personal trainer, a nutritional therapist. I was taught that health is harmonizing the body, the mind, and the spirit. Hello, my name is Germana Ravanelli. I come to you from Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. I come to you with skills in physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. Physically, personal training, yoga, breath work, mentally, hypnotherapy, meditation, reprogramming the subconscious mind, and spiritually, really listening to the body and the soul. Our soul is the part of us, in my opinion, that is deeply, deeply intelligent and wise. And sometimes we need someone to hold space for us so we can actually listen to our spirit or our soul. This video will be about anti-aging and how do we stay healthy, no matter what vintage or age we are. When I was a little girl, I was terrified of getting old. I remember I lived in Oak Bay. We were the poor immigrants that lived in Oak Bay, and we lived on top of a store called Morgan's Store. My mother worked full time, so she had no time to cook for us. So we were allowed to go downstairs and just put stuff on the account so we could eat. So lots of, garbage and lots of ravioli and lots of beans and all of that stuff. And I remember at that time, I didn't know that the pain I was in was not normal. I thought that all people hurt like I hurt. But I remember watching these little old people, and they were all like decrepit, and their knuckles are all swollen and they're hunched over. And I'm thinking, man, that looks horrific. I don't want to age like that. And I just thought I'll die early and that will save me. And for whatever reason, I did not die early. I wasn't enough pain in my life that I did want to die, and it just didn't happen for me. And then I thought, well, if I'm here, I'm going to make the most of it. So I got into fitness when I was quite young. I think I was 18 when I started, 18 when I started teaching as an instructor. And it was the first time in my life that I felt seen, and I felt that people appreciated me. And I was overweight. I was always overweight because I had an eating disorder, because I had a body image disorder that stemmed from the trauma that I had inherited from my family. So today I'm going to talk about why we want to have a practice that allows us to preserve our body. The thing that I'm going to talk about today specifically is why we want to do resistance training. I think a lot of people have a story about resistance training. They're like, if I lift all this weight, I'll turn into this big hulky person. And they have a lot of delusions around it. And what people don't understand is that we start to lose our muscle about 28. We start to lose our muscle, and our muscle is actually what helps our body move. It keeps our metabolism high, and it preserves our brain. So I've got an article that a girlfriend had written about 55 and over strength training, and I'm 59 this July. And the reason I look younger than I am is because of my lifestyle, which gives me the platform to talk about, how to preserve our age. When women hit their mid-30s, they start to go into perimenopause, which means their ovaries stop making estrogen, progesterone, and, believe it or not, testosterone. When you lose those hormones, your brain atrophies, your energy goes down, your libido goes down, you become a little bit cranky and crankier and crankier, and basically you're suffering, and our medical system just says, oh, just deal with it. And in reality, that is cruel. It's unkind. One of the things that I did, and I would encourage any woman that is suffering, whether you're in your early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, 40s, whatever, if you're having a hard time losing weight, if you've got brain fog, you're not sleeping well, you're not interested in sex, or sex is uncomfortable, it hurts, the most intelligent thing you could ever do is go to a naturopath and get bioidentical hormones. So that means they take a profile of what you are making through your ovaries now and what is no longer being made. And then they send a prescription off to a pharmacist who compounds hormones that replaces what your ovaries used to make so that your body stops degenerating. A lot of women that have mysterious health issues, if you put them on bioidentical hormones, the mysterious health issues go away. Because like when we stop getting estrogen, our brain actually atrophies. We lose, it shrinks. Now, you're not going to get that back, which is scary. And then so your thinking goes out sideways. You know, your attitude probably is in the ditch. You're not much fun. And then what happens is your body will start to store lots of fat, particularly around your back and your midsection, to create estrogen out of the fat cells. Those fat cells become estrogen producing factories. And no amount of exercise is going to fix it. And no amount of cardio is going to fix it. And no amount of, dieting will ever fix it. So you're dealing with a hormonal issue and supplements won't fix that. So, if that's you, do yourself a favor. You're worth the money. I know it's expensive. I do it. I pay. I don't care. You can save yourself about 15 years of not degenerating as fast as someone who does not take bioidenticals. So if you find somebody who is my age, I'm almost 60, and you do a screenshot face to face, this is a byproduct of bioidentical hormones. And yes, I do strength training. And yes, I eat really clean. And I do a number of other things that I will share on this channel to support people in understanding the value of taking care of this very precious thing that you have. It's called your body, but understanding how to take care of it and not just thinking that because the doctor goes, well, everyone's like this now. I remember one doctor saying to me, well, you're just depressed. And I said, I'm depressed because my body is suffering and it's flagging and I can't stay like this. I don't want to live like this. And then I just kept chasing, where do I get help? And I actually got a lot of help from a naturopath who, in Nanaimo, her name is Dr. Karen Fraser from Arbor Wellness, and she did save me because I had a really serious car accident and I had a concussion, which was devastating because I couldn't talk properly, I couldn't think properly, and I also had a spinal cord injury, I had it in my neck, so I was always off. And I needed to find out how to give myself a shot. So bioidentical hormones, super important. The other thing that I find now, particularly as I transition through, this next 5 years, whatever they look like, my body needs 8 to 10 hours of sleep. A lot of people don't get sleep. And you know what happens? Their stress level is too high. So they've got, cortisol. They're trying to push their body. I call it, the Red Bull and, the brownie whipping themselves forward. And that is abuse. That is abuse, and it's not sustainable. And if you want to play the game, I call it the long game, then you ask yourself, how do I give my body the best shot to be healthy over the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and years to go? And I often use the metaphor, it's a garden. Our body is a garden. Our relationship with ourselves is a garden. And, what are the weeds? They're fear. What are the weeds? Not thinking that we can get help. And I'm here to tell you that, yes, you can get help. And being afraid of what other people think. And I got news for you. What other people think about you has nothing to do with you. It's their projection of their own unfinished business. I don't know why I'm saying, but I really believe that if you are a woman or even a man, men take bioidentical hormones. Lots of men take testosterone. And unfortunately, women, we don't have to be victims, and we can, carry that torch and stay healthy as we age by giving our body what it stopped creating because we stopped being in our childbearing years. And, wouldn't you like to be the wise person? Wouldn't you like the person that can show up for your grandchildren? Wouldn't you like to be the person that can, mountain bike or ski or go up a mountain when you're 75? Well, that is certain markers. Bioidentical hormones is the foundation. Sleeping is the foundation. Knowing that if you don't get enough sleep, you don't heal, which means you're now going backwards and your body is rapidly aging. There's something that called sentience, which our cells start to die. They die naturally as we, hit our 30s, and then they tell the other cells we're dying, and they tell the other cells we're dying. And there's things you can do to reverse that or slow that down. But in order to have health, you need to have sleep. And part of the brain stops creating or allowing us to manifest what's called stage 4 and stage 5 sleep, which means when you don't get that sleep, you don't heal, and you basically become, a less functional version. You're suffering, you're in a lot of pain. And there is a peptide you can take to fix that. I take peptides because I'm like, okay, what works? Modern medicine is barbaric. And then what do you do to give your body back the signaling molecule to get a system to go back online? Some peptides actually help your body heal quickly, and it's nature, because we have about, I don't know whether it's 400,000 peptides in our body. And as we age, we stop making peptides. And you can take a peptide and it sends a signal. It's like ringing a doorbell into your body that says, run this program, and the body will actually slow down and it will reverse its aging format. And you can look online and listen to, one of the doctors I took training from, Dr. Edwin Lee, who is related to Bruce Lee, had a course. He has a course. It's for doctors. I took it because I'm like, I want to understand how to protect myself from the markers of age. Age is scary. We're all going to age, but wouldn't you like to live well before you say goodbye to this world? Anyway, I'm going to end this video right now. This is about, supplementing with, bioidentical hormones. I'll talk about the food. I'll probably create a video that here's models of good food, how to protect yourself from something called sarcopenia, which is known as, it's the aging disease. It's called, sarcopenia is, you'll see old people, they have it. They look like a skeleton, and then they get very small and they start to look like a candle, and they start to shuffle, and then they got the little walking cart. Sarcopenia is when we lose our bone and our muscle and our connective tissue, and obviously brain is lost too, part of it. The only way to slow that down is through lifestyle and the big S, strength training. Women are usually so scared to strength training. I'm here to tell you, you're not going to look like some gargoyle unless you take a lot of steroids and you eat a lot. And it's not as simple as people think it is. It's a very, very, very hard way of living. And I would never encourage steroids. I would encourage weight training deliberately to keep your muscles so that you don't end up just becoming a less and less dense version of yourself. Because as we lose muscle, our metabolism slows down, which means, you go from having a semi-truck of needing gasoline at fuel to having a mini miner. And then you keep eating and your body just gets overweight. And then the falling and the tripping all are part of that. So if you liked what I shared, please like, share, subscribe if you can. And if you have a topic that you would like to hear about, please feel free to offer me that. And if I don't know about that, I'll do some research and I'll share it on this channel based on your request. This channel is all about wellness, body, mind, spirit. When one is out of balance, we are out of balance. The first place to look is, how is your health? How do you feel? And from there, you get to build out your bigger garden. Thank you from Vancouver Island, Canada.